कंट्रीब्यूशन है। और यही एक सेक्टर है जो सिंस इंडिपेंडेंस कभी भी नेगेटिव में नहीं गया है। जो ग्रोथ रेट होता है वो हर साल कितना बढ़ रहा है, और ये पिछले 10, 15, 20 सालों से 6, 6.5 की औसत दर से बढ़ रहा है। तो ये एक ऐसा सेक्टर है जिसके इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि इसके अंदर कोई नुकसान की कोई संभावना नहीं। इट इज गोइंग टू गिव रिटर्न्स फॉर एवरी rupee that is invested in this sector. Or otherwise, this is the sector which was relegated by the planners, by the bureaucrats, by everybody, politicians and everyone. मंत्री को यदि ये महकमा मिल जाए तो वो कहता था मेरे को क्या महकमा दे दिया। सेक्रेटरी को ही मिल जाए तो वो भी उसको मिलता था जो डिसग्रंटल्ड हो, जो गवर्नमेंट से खिलाफ होता था, उसको ये विभाग देते थे। बट नो मोर, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट हैज रियलाइज्ड द वैल्यू ऑफ दिस सेक्टर विच इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग सो मच, सो enormously, and what is the beauty, it is contributing with the lowest of the investment. इसके अंदर आज से 4 साल पहले द इन्वेस्टमेंट वाज हार्डली 2500-2300 crore rupees, while the investment in agriculture was about 125,000 crore rupees. आप अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं, एक तो 2,500 करोड़, 1,25,000 करोड़ रुपया एग्रीकल्चर के अंदर कंट्रीब्यूशन जो एलोकेशन होता था बजट में हर साल, वो इतना होता था। 2,500 जिसमें एलोकेशन होता था वो आपको 6-6.5% ग्रोथ रेट दे रहा है। उसी के कारण एग्रीकल्चर का जो ग्रोथ रेट था वो 1% से 3% के बीच में आ रहा है, एग्रीकल्चर एंड एलाइड का, जिसके अंदर एनिमल हस्बेंड्री फिशरी आता है। तो ये आप उस सेक्टर को एड्रेस कर रहे हो, यू एज स्टूडेंट यू आर एड्रेसिंग दैट सेक्टर which is so robust, it is self driven, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट ने उतना नहीं किया जितना इस सेक्टर को करना चाहिए था, उसके बावजूद इसमें यदि ग्रोथ हो रही है तो ये इस सेक्टर की खूबी है कि ये सेल्फ ड्रिवन है। आप में से हरियाणा के कितने हैं स्टूडेंट्स? पंजाब से? तो पंजाब से भी है। राजस्थान से? उत्तर प्रदेश से? साउथ इंडिया से? वाह, जितने हरियाणा से उतने साउथ इंडिया से। वाई साउथ इंडिया से इतने स्टूडेंट्स क्यों हैं? कोई रीजन होगा। और यदि हम तमिलनाडु की बात करें, वहां तो 7 या 8 तो गवर्नमेंट के कॉलेजेस हैं। मे बी आफ्टर राजस्थान दैट इज द स्टेट विद द हाईएस्ट नंबर ऑफ वेटरनरी कॉलेजेस। राजस्थान ने तो एक वेटरनरी यूनिवर्सिटी और बना दी है, पर तमिलनाडु वाज द फर्स्ट वेटरनरी एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 1903। मद्रास वेटरनरी कॉलेज वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 1903। पहला वेटरनरी कॉलेज प्री इंडिपेंडेंस इंडिया कौन सा था? एनी गेस? मुंबई वाज सेकंड। दैट वाज आर्मी नहीं, वेटरनरी कॉलेज मुंबई वाज सेकंड 1889। फर्स्ट वन वाज लाहौर वेटरनरी 1882। सबसे पहला वेटरनरी कॉलेज दुनिया का कौन सा था? लायन इन फ्रांस। तो यदि हम कृषि की बात करें, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट एग्रीकल्चर, एग्रीकल्चर इज द ओल्डेस्ट प्रोफेशन, एंड इन दैट इट इज एनिमल हस्बेंड्री और लाइफ स्टॉक एग्रीकल्चर दैट केम इन द फर्स्ट। क्रॉप या हॉर्टिकल्चर या और कुछ नहीं आया, सबसे पहले खेती के अंदर एनिमल हस्बेंड्री आया। Animals were herded, then they bred in captivity, they were used for meat and later on for milk, later on for draft also. But first agriculture started with animal husbandry. And if we look around in the country, the first station for research was established in somewhere nearly 1892 or so in Pusa district, Samastipur in Bihar. So that is the seeding of agriculture education in this country, and it was known as agriculture research in this country. It was known as ARI, Agriculture Research Institute. Then its name was changed into Imperial Agriculture Research Institute, IARI. Then there was a big quake in Bihar, eastern India. The building of that magnificent building of that college suffered badly. Then they decided to shift it to Delhi. Now it is Indian Agriculture Research Institute, Pusa. Why I am telling you is that even in agriculture research, animal husbandry came first. That center was established first for the bullocks, elephants and horses and dairy as well, so as to meet the requirements of the army at that time. Hisar had a very old, that was also around same period, 1889. The government livestock farm was established in Hisar. That was again for meeting the requirements of the army, basically for bullocks and for horses and camels here. Camels were also there. So this is the importance that this is animal husbandry is contributing since pre-independence. And yesterday, our Bihar Veterinary College, Patna, it was celebrating its 99th Foundation Day, and we are entering the centenary year, शताब्दी. उसमें हमारे माननीय राज्यपाल महोदय आए थे, जनरल अता हसनैन जी. उन्होंने बताया, क्योंकि वो मिलिट्री बैकग्राउंड से है, कि कारगिल वार में ही वाज इन द फ्रंट. तो बोले उस टाइम इट वाज द आरबीसी यूनिट, रिमोट वेटरनरी कोर यूनिट, which came to the rescue, and it saved so many lives of our soldiers, because the other side was already laying ambush to attack our soldiers. But the dogs, they were going with each and every unit, and they were giving the clear signal, and he said that these hares will stand up and they will start barking, and you will find a ambush established, set up somewhere. And when the army took care of that's how they could conquer the peaks of the Himalayas in Kargil sector. Without dogs, he said it was not possible. And for taking the ration for the army and for heavy artillery, where nothing else could go. Now some people say that now drones can deliver, but drones are also prone to aerial fire also. And these, particularly the mules, they carry heavy duty mules, they are there and they carry. So every sector of the human life, and this morning Mantri ji, ex-minister Dhankar Sahab, he was saying, कि per unit area, what is the beauty of this sector? Per unit area, you cannot imagine how much poultry gives. It gives, I think, 113 lakh rupees per acre. Recently, I was at the headquarters of Indian Broilers, ABC. ABC is a broiler aggregating company which are in the contract farming. And there I went to a farmer. He established a EC farm. EC क्या होता है? Environmentally controlled. So he established a farm, and when I asked him to show me his results, he showed that this time it was not good return. For 35 days, he got a return of 6.4 lakh rupees in one shed. And then the company people were also with me. They said, show the last cycle, the one before it. There he earned 14.5 lakh rupees within 35 days. This is the beauty of this sector. And he can do 6 cycles very easily in a year. So the minister, ex-minister, he was very right in pointing out that this is the strength of Indian livestock sector. And if we look at the poultry, there is another aspect of rearing poultry, that is backyard poultry. You don't require any land, you don't require any even feed for backyard poultry. They can feed by themselves on the insects, and they will reduce the incidence of animal diseases also, human diseases also, because they eat up the larvae, the ticks, which are causing the diseases in livestock. So these, and if you keep the poultry along with any other livestock species, large animal, this is the ecological symbiotic relationship that has been developed in the ecology, that one species is helping the other one to survive and also to thrive in the absence of the diseases by removing the vectors from the cycle of the disease. And recently, I also happened to go to China, where I found that they have taken 10,000 embryos developed through IVF technology. We have Dr. Madan here, who is the pioneer of IVF technology in buffaloes. So there in Pakistan, they developed 10,000 embryos with IVF technology, and there they transferred in their own country in China. And I saw that they had already produced more than 600 calves on the ground. And they said they had more than 500 already pregnant, using only 3,000 of those embryos. This morning, Dhankar Sahab also mentioned, because he knows much more, because he has been the agriculture minister of this state for 5 years, that Brazil took our Gir cows. And now India is importing the semen of Gir cows from Brazil. They developed them, they maintained them, and they improved their capacity for milking. There, the peak yield of a Gir cow can be as high as nearly 60 kg. Although they are also using the somatotropin hormone, it is allowed there. In this country, it is not allowed. But still, there is capacity in our indigenous animals. And thankfully, it was exported to that country, and that's why we could now think of improving our own Gir animals with the germplasm that we can get there. There is one Mr. Battu from Pakistan. He had similarly very good germplasm of Sahiwal cows. And I said that your bulls must be in great demand. He said, no, we were not giving to anyone. So I asked what you were doing. So they have the other use of cattle also. So for plate, they were using it. I said, why didn't you give it to other farmers who were breeders? Just because of competition. He said, we were not that much aware. So because of competition in mind, we did not give to anybody. We better slaughter them and use them. So this is how a very good breed could not be propagated. And if you look at buffalo, I think it is this state, and thanks to our ancestors from this state, who have taken the decision to rear the best animals, the best milch animals, and that's how the Murrah breed developed. And with Murrah breed, now our farmers are getting rich. A farmer I know who has only half an acre of land, he has one very good buffalo, and because of that buffalo, he is maintaining a car. Half an acre farmer with one buffalo, and he is maintaining a car. There is another farmer. When I was in Punjab, Garwasu, I got an opportunity. I saw his video and I messaged him. He said, sir, please come to my farm someday. I went one day when I was going to Hisar. उस दिन उसने एक यूट्यूबर भी बुला लिया. आजकल काफ़ी पॉपुलर है यूट्यूबर, और लाइफ स्टॉक में और एग्रीकल्चर में सब चीज़ों में छाए हुए हैं. उस यूट्यूबर ने यूट्यूब बना के और सोशल मीडिया पे भेजा, उसने पोस्ट किया. उसके बाद वो फार्मर मेरे को कहता है, जी आप आए, मेरी तो चांदी बन गई. फिर कहता है, चांदी नहीं जी, मेरा तो सोना ही बन गया. वह क्या हुआ? बोला जी मेरे 1 महीने के अंदर 3000 सीमन डोज बिकी है. पहले मेरी महीने में 200-300 बिका करती, केवल मेरे वहां जाने से. और मैं क्यों गया? मैं इसलिए गया कि उसकी भैंस थी, उसने 16वीं बार बच्चा दिया था. 16वीं बार बच्चा दिया था, और उस भैंस का फैट परसेंटेज नॉर्मल टाइम पे भी 10% होता है. तो ये हमारी भैंस की वैल्यू है. अभी पंजाब के अंदर प्रोग्रेसिव लाइफस्टॉक फार्मर एसोसिएशन का एक मेला था समराला में. वहां पर गाय ने कितना दूध दिया आप में से किसी को मालूम है? 91 kg एक दिन में, जो इंडिया का आज तक का रिकॉर्ड है 91 kg पर 20 किलो दूध दे रही है. यदि फैट करेक्टेड मिल्क कर दो 50 किलो से ऊपर और 10% फैट दे रही है तो वो 60 किलो से ऊपर हो जाता है. और वो हमारी है, वो 15 बार बच्चे दे रही है. तो हमें इस चीज को बचाना चाहिए. इसमें आप लोगों का और जो आपके साथ काम करते हैं पैरावेट्स, उनका बहुत ज्यादा रोल है. यहाँ पैरावेट का स्कूल भी है क्या? शायद होगा. तो उनके साथ मिलके आप लोग इस सेक्टर के अंदर काफ़ी कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हो, क्योंकि जो किसान डेयरी करता है वो बहुत मेहनत करता है, और जिस दिन वो छोड़ देगा दोबारा इस प्रोफेशन में वापस नहीं आएगा। कोई कारखाना है वो बंद करके दोबारा आ जाएगा, 2 साल बाद मशीनें उजाड़ के दोबारा स्टार्ट कर देगा, पर एनिमल हस्बेंड्री और पर्टिकुलर डेयरी के अंदर कोई फार्मर दोबारा नहीं आएगा। टाइम का कॉन्स्टेंट है, बातें बहुत कर सकते थे, तो मैं आपसे यही गुजारिश करूंगा कि एक आप प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी में है, और मेरे को बड़ी खुशी हुई जिस प्रकार के पोस्टर आपने अंडर ग्रेजुएट लेवल के ऊपर आज बना के वहाँ डिस्प्ले कर रखे हैं, आपको उसकी बहुत बहुत बधाई। और एक और उम्मीद करता हूँ मैं यहाँ से, बीइंग इन प्राइवेट सेक्टर, कि आप अपनी मैनेजमेंट से ये डिमांड करिए कि आपको एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की तरफ, उस तरफ आपको जाना है। मैं मेरे स्टूडेंट्स को कहता हूँ कि आई एम वेरी अनफॉर्चुनेट कि हमारी सरकार तुम्हारे पास आउट होते ही तुमको जॉब नहीं देती। यदि आपको जॉब नहीं मिले, देन यू वेंचर आउट, देन यू फाइंड दैट व्हाट इज योर कैपेसिटी। तो मेरी आप सबको शुभकामनाएं। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, sir, for giving us all a share to a part of your epitomic wisdom and knowledge.
Now we proceed further. Good afternoon, respected Chairperson Dr. Gajendra Yadav, Co-Chairperson Dr. Pawan Kumar Verma, Reporter Dr. Mamta, distinguished speakers, delegates, and participants. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the technical session 1. This session has been thoughtfully curated to reflect the rapidly evolving frontiers of animal health, reproduction, biotechnology, and disease management, integrating both fundamental research and applied clinical insights. The thematic breadth of this session highlights how modern science is increasingly converging with innovation, particularly in areas such as artificial intelligence, functional biomolecules, reproductive biotechnologies, and antibiotics.
Will speak on AI-driven revolution in animal health diagnostics, the Indian landscape. His insights are expected to illuminate how emerging digital technologies are reshaping diagnostic precision, decision-making, and veterinary healthcare delivery systems in India.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a really pleasure to speak in front of not only the youngsters but also doyen of this profession like Professor Padmasri M.L. Madan Saab and my friend Dr. Indrajit, Dr. Rameshwar Singh ji, and all other scientific minds which are sitting here in this hall. और मुझे लग रहा है कि आज ये लगा करके मुझे खान सर बना दिया। ये सिस्टम मैं फर्स्ट टाइम यूज़ कर रहा हूँ और भाषण में देने जा रहा हूँ कि एआई ने कैसे इनोवेट किया वेटनरी फील्ड को। तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि हाउ novice I am in this field, but even then I have tried to bring in front of you those things which even when I prepared this lecture, I was also knowing some of those developments. So we will be just discussing for and I am sorry I forgot to address Honorable chair and co-chair of the session as well as the rapporteurs. So, sir, what shall be the time limit? Only. I have already consumed 5 minutes, sir. Okay, thank you. So kindly be liberal to me in allotting the time. AI-driven revolution in animal health diagnostics, the Indian landscape. So, the AI is moving very fast in almost every field of our life. So, has it entered into the veterinary diagnostics or not? We will see. Now, Professor Indrajit Singh sir has spoken, the economic contribution of livestock sector in the country. If you see the global and Indian market landscape, what is the market size? It encompasses the products, particularly the health products and the services also for preventing, diagnosing and treating diseases of livestock as well as pets. So pet, we will see that it is again, coming up very fast in India. So I will request all the students to please keep silence क्योंकि आपकी आवाज़ मेरे तक आ रही है तो मुझे पता लग रहा है कि आप क्या बात कर रहे हैं और आजकल यही का ज़माना है तो हो सकता है कि उसको डेसिफर कर लिया जाए. Then if we see compound annual growth rate or CAGR of diagnostics only, it is more than 14%. It's very high in terms of economy. If we say that any component of economy or any subsector of economy is growing at the rate more than 6-7%, the growth rate is considered very high. So it is growing at more than 14%. And the global animal health market, the total growth rate is ranging between 6.4 to 10.9. This is a very wide range. The wide range is only because of the fact that there are many economic research groups which are giving different types of data. So that's why the range is very high. But from from 25 around 70 billion market, it is expected in next 5 to 10 years to be around 200 billion. So that means it is more than doubling in next 5 to 10 years. So that is the animal health market's situation. Then global veterinary AI diagnostics market. Now if you see this cumulative annual growth rate, it is around 18%. So that means it is growing at a very high speed, and it is expected that this year 2026 it is around 2 billion, and in next almost 10 years it will grow more than 4 times, 8.8 billion. So this is the situation of global veterinary AI diagnostics. That means AI incorporated into the diagnostics. This is a very small segment of diagnostics which will be using AI, and the size of that is going to grow 4 times in next 10 years. Now, India also represents a very high growth rate, opportunity. As we know, and Professor Indrajit Singh ji has also highlighted it, that we are the largest livestock population, somewhere around 31 crore population. Our animal health market is only health market. That means the medicines or health related products It is considered around 2 billion in 24, and it is expected to double by 2030, 4 billion. Now this is one, the Grand View research. This is a group of research which has given that it will be more than 4 billion. We will see in the next slide the other groups, projections also. And pet parent culture. In the morning, Honorable Minister Saab, Dhankar Saab, ex-minister, he was giving an example that on their own pet, they have not spent, they have spent so much amount which was never spent on their family members. So the pet culture is flourishing in India. And there was one estimate very recently, post-COVID particularly, that annual pet keeping or annual number of new pets incorporated in India into families was around 1 million per year. And recently I came across a data which says that it is around 2 million per annum. So that means 20 lakhs pets are coming into families every year. New pets are coming. So that is the scope of pet parenting. Dog population has surged from 12.6 million in 2014 to 33.6 million in 23, and it is expected in next 5 years 51.5 million. So that is the scope of the growth of pet in. So the annual pet healthcare spending is touching almost 1 lakh rupee per annum per pet. So that is the. So therefore, in India, dual growth in companion as well as production animals, it provides a resilient revenue stream. So economy will grow, and there are key drivers in India, particularly in the field of AI. AI in veterinary field, the startup culture, AI pet health tools, they have come up, indigenous vaccines, they are being developed by use of AI. Many institutes I have seen personally also, like your IVRI, like your Nivedi, like your Nisar Gopal, they are developing using AI tools new vaccine candidates for disease. So then the R&D investments, that is also going very high, although we very often criticize that, or we express our opinion that the R&D expenditure is not that much which is required. Only 5 minutes. Okay, I will try to wrap up. Then IoT, Internet of Things, or AI adoption, it is also very high, and demand for cost-effective solutions amid zoonotic risks. This is also one of the key factors driving AI-related growth. Now, coming back to the earlier data, which said that in 2026 the size of Indian veterinary healthcare market was around 2 billion. This group, Mordor Intelligence, it has published that it is around 1.76. So instead of 2 billion, it is 1.76 billion. And in 2031, it is going to surge 2.66 billion instead of 4 point something billion. So therefore, different type of research groups, they give little different data. But one thing is certain, that the growth rate is definitely there, and that growth rate is highly encouraging. Here also, if the estimates are very modest, the growth rate is more than 8%. So, global core transformational areas using AI in our field are advancements in imaging diagnostics. You must have heard of that in human also. The government of India has approved use of one, AI tool for assessing the tuberculosis patient, X-ray of tuberculosis patient. So that is, one of the use of AI in imaging diagnostics, then laboratory and pathology. This is all these instruments are using AI. Predictive analytics and epidemiology, this is also being used. Then telemedicine, genomics and precision medicine. These are the areas globally where AI is being used. Now, if you see little bit, we will go hurriedly. I am giving only two examples. There may be many more, but these two are very recent. 25, 26, 2000, 20, 25, 26. References. Antec Rapid Read Dental. This is primarily for dogs or pets, and they have in 26 they have introduced for cats also. So with simple dental X-ray, they can the AI can detect all the diseases and abnormalities and give you suggestions what to do. Similarly, Zoetis Vet Scan Imagist, and this platform, there are in AI there are many tools you must have heard. The tool machine learning, so it uses AI masses tool. It sees the masses in the microscope and then provides you the hypothesis of the results. Then in laboratory and pathology, hematology analyzers, particularly this analyzer, by Vet Scan, Opticell by Zoetis. You simply need to put liquid, blood drop on a slide of their own, and it will see and measure the cells as well as almost everything regarding the hematology. It will give instantaneously within a few seconds or minutes. Similarly, microRNA based testing. So this is an altogether new field. I could have presented a full presentation on microRNA, but this is very rapidly coming up. The microRNA are those RNAs which change themselves into the cells according to the. Give me 5 minutes more. They change themselves, and if we read the status of microRNA, we can early detect the probabilities of even disease like cancer. In case of animals, disease like Jones disease, particularly chronic type of infections. So all these can be detected by simple studying the microRNA by use of AI. Then predictive analytics and epidemiology. In a herd, you can have so many AI integrated herd data tools put up on your farm, on the collar of the animal, on the hooves of the animal, even in the rumen of the animal also. Similarly, they have made smart cages for birds. If you are, bird-loving person and keeping so many birds in your home, you put them in these cages, and these cages will tell you which bird is going to sick, which bird has not taken the feed, not taken the water. And similar technology has been transferred to pet cages for dogs and cats. And particularly, they will give all the feedback to your veterinarian. The dog is kept in the cage at your home, and these cages are very much used in many developed countries, Western countries, particularly US, after treatment for recovery during the recovery period. Even the veterinary clinics, they are using it, and even they are being put in the homes also. They are directly connected to the vets. This is the enlarged picture of what was there. That how we can track with the help of camera, bolus in the rumen, the breathable gas detectors, the thermal camera, the D-level milking system, which will give you the milk parameters, and the radar tracked parameters. So all these combines using them with AI tools. will give you a complete picture without going into the detailed diagnosis or detailed examination or checkup of the animal. Is similar to many of the variables are also there for dogs particularly. Telemedicine, the AI is being used. We are using them. Genomics and precision medicine also, AI is being used very widely. Now coming to India specific integrated AI platforms which we have developed very recently, and in these platforms, many of these platforms they were showcased in recent AI summit, organized at Bharat Mandapam by the country. One is Go Swasth. Now this is by Go Sampurna, and it has been launched in 26 only. A single smartphone photo to screen for 33 diseases, identify breed, and assess the productivity. You know what a magic! A single smartphone photo, with photo you can identify so many diseases. So instead of this, I think this is the Dizzy Yatra type of photo, which you give on the airport. Then Amul in February 26 only it has launched Sarla Bain. And this is also a smartphone type of app, and which the cattle health, vaccination schedule, disease diagnosis, nutrition, breeding management, and it interacts through voice also of the owner. As on today, it has been launched in Gujarati only, but I expect that in very short time they will be using other languages, regional languages as well as Hindi also. So it is a AI trained on data from around 3 crore tagged cattle, and the most important thing is that it is related, it is integrated with AMCS. AMCS is automatic milk collection system, which is being put at the Dairy Cooperative Society level, as well as the Pashudhan app. Bharat Pashudhan app is one on which the data of every tagged livestock, particularly cattle, buffalo, and even sheep and goat also, is loaded. So it's a national data bank. So it is integrated with them, and it's a very good and very big effort by Amul. Then Ayushman Cow Fit. Now this is again, as we have seen earlier, a cow collar. The collar, you put a collar and the collar will tell you many things about health parameters of the cow to you as well as to the veterinarian. Then with the ICR Nivedi at Bangalore, it has developed an address V2 system, National Animal Disease Referral Expert System. It has developed long back, but now version 2 it has launched. And it's a software which is based on HTML, PHP, as well as MySQL as backend tool. And it provides forewarning 2 months in advance for all the districts, all around 730 districts of the country, about 13 diseases. So the probability of outbreak is forecasted by Nivedi using this address V2, and this V2 version has been introduced only in 2025. So now, what are the key benefits of using AI? The speed, we all know it. Then the accuracy, the efficiency, and the outcomes. The earlier interventions, they improve the survival rates. So therefore, the outcomes are very good in this case. So these speed, accuracy, efficiency, and outcomes, these are the major benefits of the AI tools. Then challenges. the biggest challenge is the AI is not, it should not be agentic. Agentic means it should not work as an agent of ours. It should be only a second opinion, because the first opinion should be of the veterinarian. So the human intervention is very essential, and that is why for clinical judgments and issues like training, the data bias, connectivity rule, these are the issues which will affect the widespread, that the data bias should not be there, the connectivity in rural area and ethical use. So responsible adoption with vet oversight is the key of keys of these. And the future means at present they are not agentic, but later on it may become agentic without any bias. In recent war or what military conflict in Middle East, we have seen some of these strikes, they were agentic, based on AI, agentic. There was no human touch or human decision was not involved, and these strikes were automatic, and therefore some of those vital installations which were not to be bombed or not to be missiled, they were done. So that is the disadvantage. And India, the tools like NEDRES will expand alongside extension programs. Veterinary innovations are not about replacing the vet, but amplifying it. And then we can ensure that every animal, be it a beloved pet or a working farm animal or a wild species also, we expect that this should expand to the wildlife also. So that is the future expected to 2030. And conclusion, we can conclude all AI integration offers speed and operational efficiency. It remains a second opinion meant to augment clinical judgment. Challenges such as data bias and rural connectivity require responsible solutions. And as we move towards 2030, the veterinary profession must embrace these tools to safeguard public health and ensure every animal benefits from pinnacle of modern science. So, with these conclusions, I foresee that in near future, AI is going to play a very crucial role, particularly in our diagnostics as well as in developing new agents or vaccines. Say, for example, even our top institutes like IVRI, like NDRI, like Nivedi, like NISAD, they are already using AI in developing the vaccine candidates, as well as recently the IVRI has developed around 114 antimicrobial protein molecules using AI platform. So these are some of the examples which indicate that our profession is not far behind using AI in this. So thank you very much. कितने मिनट एक्स्ट्रा हो? Sir, should we take any? Sir, please.
Is there any questions regarding this? We can take one or two questions quickly, very quick. Oh, thank you, sir. We can take afterwards.
Thank you. Thank you, students. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Proceed.
Dr. Gehlot, thank you for this exhaustive presentation. One thing which somehow I can catch in this is, if we ever talk of AI in this country, artificial intelligence, the first thing we have to do is digitization. We must have data. AI means we can go into a functionality of a particular procedure, of a particular thought, a particular process. only when we have an imprint of it. And that is what we call the machine learning. And the machine learning, for that we need digitization. Every data should be in terms of dots and dashes, 0 and 1. So only when we have got that digitization data, we can talk of AI. So as a matter of fact, I have sounded to the question to the council also, and council has now drawn up a definite program for where we can start with respect to the AI use for everything. The first thing is digitization. Thank you. I just wanted to supplement what you want.
Thank you, sir.
I don't want any answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, to proceed with, we will have an expert lecture on food production systems.
Good afternoon. जोर से Good afternoon. How are you? How many of you are from veterinary? Raise your hands. How many from agriculture? Thank you very much. Honorable Chairman, Co-Chairman, Reporters, my seniors, Dr. Madan, Dr. Gehlot, all fellow colleagues, distinguished delegates, and dear students. I will be spending a few minutes with you on the very topic of sustainability. So, anyone who can tell about sustainability, can you define what is sustainability? Anyone? थोड़ा जोर से बोलेंगे? Our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, had said that the earth can meet our needs, but it cannot meet our greeds. So that is in nutshell about sustainability. To meet our needs of today, we must utilize the resources available to us in such a manner that our future generations can also meet their needs from those resources, so that the perpetuity of the system is maintained. But there are several challenges, and one of the challenges which you know very well is the increase in population, increase in food demand, and increase in the quality of the food. अभी कितनी पॉपुलेशन है वर्ल्ड की? How much is the world population? Any student? We are touching around 800 crores. Any idea? 2050 तक ये 1000 करोड़ हो जाएगी. Something more than 950 crores or 1000 crores, despite the slowing down of the population multiplication rate. And accordingly the food demands are going up. So what are the challenges? Challenges are produce more food using less land. Land is going to be used for other purposes. Where we are sitting here, this was agricultural land previously. Now it has been converted into a university campus. Likewise, the expansion of the cities, that is transformation from rural to urban. In 1900s, early 1900s, what was the ratio of rural to urban population? That is just reversing now. There were 10 and 90. 10% were in urban and 90% were in rural areas. Now what is changing is that 90% is going to be urban and 10% may remain as rural. Why am I mentioning this? Because this is all related with food production. food production happens in the rural areas and consumer is there in urban areas. Urban consumer needs what? Urban consumer is more aware and is looking forward for more protein and more animal foods. So in the food production system, that is the secondary chain. That is not the primary production, that is secondary production. First we have to raise the animals and then we have to use the animals as food. So that again, because the cycle is repeated, the efficiency goes down. Second challenge is produce more food from water, less water. Around 90% of the fresh water is used for crop production, irrigation. And more water is being used for the human population. Hello? That's why it is a challenge, it is becoming a challenge. How much water we are drawing from the groundwater for irrigation? Can you give me any idea what is the percentage of the irrigation which is coming through tube wells or groundwater? Latest updates are around 40% of our total irrigation depends on groundwater. So we are one of the such a regions in the world जहाँ ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ground water use हो रहा है. And in some critical areas, this is happening, bringing down the groundwater level, a decline of more than a meter every year. In Punjab, you can see what is happening. Submersible pumps, you know. You have seen any submersible pump? If you go to the fields, you take a look at the submersible pumps, how much depth is there. And this food production, that is the protein production, that will come from animals. Like here in this belt, the Honorable Minister or Former Minister said that we are vegetarians. So mostly we depend for our protein requirement, animal protein requirement on milk. And milk comes from the bovines, either buffaloes or cows. Close to 31 crores of these cows and buffaloes are there. So is that number affordable or sustainable? This number has to go down. Why it should go down? Number one is the harm it causes to the environment by production of CO2, by production of methane. Indian cattle population is responsible for more than 60% of the total agricultural production of methane. And methane in the environment has risen very sharply from say 900 ppb around in 1920 to more than 1900 ppb. It has more than doubled. Likewise, CO2 production has gone up from 300 ppm to around 450 ppm. The rumen fermentation is responsible for methane production. Secondly, our efficiency of production goes down. We are one of the lowest rankers if we compare the productivity per animal in the world. This has to go up, so we have to keep less animals with higher productivity per animal. For this we need breed improvement programs and better feeding programs, and also reduce the number of useless animals. They may be bullocks, and for that technology is coming up in a big way to help us. Somebody mentioned about the use of sex sorted semen. So if we start using sex sorted semen, or we have started using sex sorted semen, this is resulting into the production of female calves, and also because the sex sorted semen is produced from very elite germplasm only. that is the bulls of high genetic merit. So this is also bringing in genetic improvement of the new generations. So this is how we can look at it. Another angle to our production system of livestock is the scattered system of production with the small and marginal farmers. Around 90% of our milk comes from smallholders as of today. But if you go to the villages, as was mentioned in the morning also, that many families are now avoiding the keeping of animals. They don't want to raise animals and they are switching away, shifting away. And with the urbanization, as I mentioned that 90% will be urban and 10% will be rural, you can imagine that what will be the number of animals being kept or how many families will be there in future in the livestock production system. So we have to go for policy decisions in this, that we support only commercial dairy farms. We don't give loans or don't encourage one or two animals. We encourage those who come with commercial dairy farms, and these dairy farms will be run through technology, through better feeding, through better reproductive management. As I mentioned about sex sorted semen, likewise there is a assured AI system and the use of sensor based feeding systems. How much milk is being given by one animal and what is the kind of requirement of the concentrate and other feeds by that animal. So the example of, if we look at America, we can very well see how their dairy farms have been reshaped in past. In 1970, if we see the data, there were 6,40,000 farms, dairy farms in USA. As of today, I have the data from 23-24, there are only 25,000 farms. The numbers were like 20, 50, 80, 100. Now most of the farms, average number of animals per farm is around 1,000 or more. The number of cattle which declined initially has now stabilized. So the milk production is going up. With the decreasing number of farms, the quantum of milk production is increasing. And this is what is happening in Punjab. We don't have to go to US anymore to see organized farms. I visited a farm near Ludhiana and I was just amazed to see more than 2,600 cattle in milk in the single farm. And it was every kind of technology was being used. Paddy straw was being fed with urea treatment. TMR was in practice. Total balanced ration was prepared and it was fed to the animals through TMR. Then heat detection, artificial insemination, use of sex sorted semen, and also the clean milk production practices. These were all being used. And this you can see that the number of commercial farms in Punjab has gone beyond 6,000 now. And it is still increasing. And with the kind of interventions, silage making has become a big industry in Punjab. They are selling to Haryana, they are selling to Rajasthan. 10 to 12 rupees a kg of maize silage is being sold. And we are finding, that these kind of technological interventions, which were not imagined by our planners, policy has not helped so far. It is only the initiatives by the Progressive Dairy Farmers Association in Punjab and the farmers themselves. So we must also, as researchers, as scientists, impress upon the policy makers that what is going to come in future, how we are going to address our food production system in the coming future, maybe for crops where we need to look forward towards diversification, We don't want to go for high water consuming crops like the paddy and sugarcane, which is very much prevalent here. So crop diversification with improved livestock and less number of livestock and technological interventions, that may be reproductive interventions, feeding interventions, breeding interventions. We have to go for commercial dairy in the future and make it more attractive to our youngsters, as was being talked about entrepreneurship. Dr. Inderjeet Singh told that we need to make more entrepreneurship, and many of you who are sitting here may go tomorrow for your own farms, maybe poultry farms, maybe piggery farms, maybe dairy farms, like that, and you can become really big in terms of your revenues and employment generation and sustaining the food production system in India. So with these words and the paucity of time, I would like to stop here and convey my thanks to the organizers for giving me this opportunity, and also to the chairman and co-chairman of the session for permitting me to make this small presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Following this, we will have an expert lecture by Professor Sutavat Benjikul on conversion of fish skin to bioactive peptides via circular economy model, process development, bioactivities, and the uses as potential functional ingredient.
Hey, good afternoon. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, student. So it's my pleasure to be here to give you a talk. First of all, I would like to thank organizing committee for inviting me to join this conference to deliver my talk. So my today's talk is about conversion of fish skin to bioactive compounds with the process of process development, bioactivities, and the use as a potential functional ingredient. So basically, the fish and fish product are very popular, but because it has high nutrients, for example, protein and also omega-3 fatty acid, and also it has a high digestibility. And you can see that now the salmon, for example, is very popular worldwide. And during fish processing, a huge amount of the leftover are generated, basically around 60 to 60%. When we take a look for the skin itself, it's constitutes around 4 to 15%, depending on the species and also process used. And you can see from here, some company also use those kind of fish skin to make the snack. For example, if you go visit Singapore and Malaysia, you can see this product because they deep fry the fish and also mix with the salted egg, and very expensive though. And also, okay. So, and however, those products is kind of high, low value. So to increase the value of the skin, so we also end up with to produce hydrolyzed collagen or peptide. So what is collagen? So collagen is protein that consists of three alpha chain who know each other like this, and each chain gonna have the volume with around 100 Daltons, so totally is 300 Daltons. And every third position they consist glycine here. So that's why glycine consists around like 1/3 of the amino acid, and also one more important thing is that consists hydroxyproline, which is unique amino acid in collagen. It means that you cannot find hydroxyproline any protein in the world except the collagen. All right. So how to produce collagen? So where we can get from? So we can produce collagen from skin, scale, bone, or even swim bladders. So how to produce a collagen? So this is very straightforward and easy. The first one we have, for example, we get skin. So first we have to remove non-collagenous protein. Basically we use my alkali solution and then followed by defecting. And or if the scale is bored, we have to do demineralization. Basically we use hydrochloric acid or EDTA, and also followed by swelling using acetic acid or other acid like citric acid. 15 work. Why not other proteases? Okay, so and then after we stabilize the collagen, we precipitate it using a salting out effect. And then after we get the pellet, we dialysis to remove the salt and come up with collagen. And all the process must be conducted at 40 degrees Celsius oral temperature to avoid denaturation of the collagen and keep pepper helix like this. All right. So why pepsin can enhance the yield? Because here you can see from here the pepsin. This is tolopeptide connect together, anchor together like this. And then once we apply pepsin will click here and anchor portion, and then make it looser. And in the presence of acid, they're gonna leach out here. And that's why it makes the pepsin soluble collagen have the higher yield than acid soluble collagen. Okay, we will take a look from the protein pattern here. For example, here from this skin and also sweet bladder, you can see that it can contain alpha 1 chain and alpha 2 chain. The band intensity of alpha 1 chain is 2-to-1 ratio. So it's kind of good that type 1 collagen. And also apart from that, they have beta chain is dimer of the alpha chain, stabilized by covalent bond. And also have gamma chains. It kind of trimer, it means that 3 alpha chain link together. And no difference between non-releasing and releasing condition. So it means that no disulfide bond stabilize the structure of collagen. Okay, and this is very important thing because once you want to apply the collagen, native collagen, you have to know the solubility. You can see from here that most of native collagen and methyl helix, they stabilize in acid condition here, and they lose the solubility at pH around 5 or neutral pH or alkaline pH. This is a very important thing. So that's why some company in Thailand, they also fortify native collagen triple helix in the fruit juice like pomegranate one like this. So they add the 10%. Why? Because pomegranate juice is acidic in pH and they can stabilize the collagen, triple collagen there. So this is what is a very expensive one. Alright, so because triple helix is Thailand native nature in large molecular weight, so it's difficult to be absorbed in body. So the easiest way is to hydrolyze it to small molecule. We call hydrolyzed collagen or containing peptide. So how to produce it is similar to the how to produce collagen. It's being started by pre-treatment of raw material. And most important thing is defecting if you start from skin because the skin have a lot of fat. And this causes the fishy odor in the final product. Alright, and after that you also could select the hydrolysis process. First you have to select the what kind of proteases, how many steps of proteases to use, and also what time of the hydrolysis is going to take, and also substrate protease ratio. So finally you end up with the hydrolyzed collagen here and rich up in the peptide. Next, this is cartoon representing how we hydrolyze triple native collagen. So first it's triple helix, right? So after we incubate at the temperature more than the denatured temperature, we call TD, this kind of triple helix dissociate each other because triple helix stabilized by hydrogen bonding here. And in the presence of proteases, they flip the peptide here to be short chain peptide with molecular around 0.3 to 8 kilodalton. And this is advantage of the hydrolyzed collagen or peptides in high digestibility and also easy to be absorbed by body. Alright, so for this presentation, I will focus on two species. The first one, Asian sea basket, that because in nearby our university they have a big farm, a lot of farm on the Asian sea bass, and you can see after filleting, they have the skin there. And this is the process. It's easy. We just start from the fish skin, and then we hydrolyze by simple one reactor or this one like they check it, control the temperature, and end up with the hydrolyzed one rich in peptide. All right, and then what factor affecting the bioactivity of the peptide? Of course, the process use, time enzyme use, enzyme concentration also, and these going to determine the peptide sequences of amino acids in the peptide, and these going to determine the bioactivity of peptide. And for example, this one you can see from here that we use the two different enzymes we call alkylase and also papain. Alkylase is a microbial proteases, And we use the 0.2 unit per gram for 1.5 hours in the first sample. Second sample, we use alkylase at 0.3 unit per gram for 1.5 hours. And that one parpane 0.3 unit per gram for 1.5. And this one we use two steps. I mean, the first one we hydrolyze with parpane at 0.3 unit per gram, 1.5 hours, followed by alkylase 0.2 unit per gram for another 1.5 hours, so totally 3 hours. And the other one is also similar thing, but unit is also different. And when you compare with ascorbic acid as a positive control, you can see from here we use different assays. I'm not sure that you used before. That, for example, if we test radical scavenger activity assay, deviate radical scavenger activity graph represent like reducing anti-cell power and methylculating activity. You can see that the red one have the highest activity when compared with other samples. So it means that the enzyme type and also the sequence of the steps of hydrolysis and also unit of enzyme use also premature and determine the bioactive and antigen activity of peptide. And we also do the mass spec, and we found that the major peptide the found is have the molar weight around 888 and 1108 Dalton. And you can see from here there's composition. You can see from here that doesn't work for the pointer, sorry. Glycine consumed around, we represent a residue per 1000 residue, so it's represented 319, so they consume around 1/3. It's in accordance with theory that glycine consumed around 1/3. And also they contain some hydrophobic amino acids like alanine, glycine, isoleucine, leucine, methionine, phenylalanine, choline, valine, tryptophan. Those things has been believed to determine the high antigen activity. And you can see from here when we see the side peptide, you can see that they have glycine with third position. Yeah, so this is confirm that they form collagen. And you can compare with the sequences. The first peptide have the high activity, while the last one have the lowest activity. So how to enhance the antigen activity of the peptide? So we do like grafting. So we grafting with the polyphenols. So we start with the pair reaction. So redox pairs with the pair between the ascorbic acid and also hydrogen peroxide, and we end up with hydroxyl radical. The hydroxyl radical is a powerful radical, and they can oxidize peptide here. And when peptide become oxidized, they also release one electron from the subsources. So we use the plant polyphenol like EGCG, stand for epigallocatecholate. So we can find mostly in the tea. Okay, and then they can wrap together, become peptide ECG conjugate one. And when we determine for the antigen activity, we found that the one when we graph with the 3% EGCG show the highest activity when assay by different assay. Since they want to leave out the auditorium. And when we compare for the effect on the cell line, we use FRC5 cell and also HACAT cell. Found that when we use the hydrolyzed collagen graph with the 3% EGCG conjugate one, and you can see that they don't have like they can proliferate the cell much more in a dose-dependent manner. However, they also have the lower proliferation than the only hydrolyzed collagen at 1,000 microgram per ml. And when we also determine the toxicity using apoptosis, monitor apoptosis. Apoptosis means the cell death. You can see from here when we take a look from the the both cell. The first one is the MRC5 cell and HACAT cell A and B, and you can see from here that the arrow side indicating the apoptosis cell with the bright blue fluorescence here. And also when we plot the graph, you can see the only radical we use two radical hydrogen peroxide and also AAPH, which can produce the oxidative stress to the cell. And this one you can see a high apoptosis, and this one EGCG. Graph with hydrogen collagen at 1,000 microgram per milliliters. You can see compare with here. The less apoptosis one found with the graph with EGCG. It means that EGCG graph and hydrolyzed collagen also help to reduce the stress of the cell and the death of the cell also. This we also use the Tolok and also EGCG as a control at 50 micromolar. And similar result also found in the host cell. This is also published in IC Advances. And how to consider that also reduce what the problem when we use the fish skin as raw material. The first one is the raw fish odor. So you can see why the fish odor we found in the product produced from fish skin, because the fish skin contain high PUFA, and omega-3 fatty acid like EPA, DHA, you may know on that one, right? So that's why this is very prone to oxidation. And once the oxidation takes place, oxidation product going to degrade to the aldehyde, ketone, also acid, alcohol. Those products also have the fish odor. So this is how the fish odor forms. So first of oxidation, and then hydroxide decomposed to other products I mentioned previously. So how to remove or lower or prevent the fish odor in the hydrolyzed collagen produced from fish skin? The first one is mean that we have to remove the fat from the skin as much as possible. So we also use the non-thermal processing we call power electric field. So that because the generate electroporation, it means that we apply a lot of short pulse with a high voltage and like a bullet to penetrate to the skin and make a little pore in the skin. And then we also soak in lipase with the vacuum impregnation like this. You can see from here that the skin with the pore, and we soak in lipase there. And then once we vacuum, those vacuum to suck out the gases also solution. And once we release the vacuum, those kind of lipase get into the pore. And lipase can hydrolyze fat in the skin effectively. It's better than soaking only the solvent because the solvent cannot penetrate into the skin. So this is we take 2 cycles, and we can see from here. We stain those kind of fat using the 9-blue-A as appear the red dot here. You can see the original skin, red dot. But after treatment with the best condition, you can see the red dot disappear. It means that we can effectively remove the fat. And when we produce hydrolyzate from the different skin with different defatting process, the first one, we don't defat anything, but we subject to powder field and vacuum impregnation. This one we use the lipase information vacuum impregnation. This one we use isopropanol along with the PF and vacuum impregnation. You can see this one. The middle column, you don't see much of the aldehyde, also ketone, alcohol, and furan, which is contribute to fish odor. When compared with this one, we have the high abundance of the compound. So this confirms that when we can remove the fat as much as possible, those high volatile compounds causing the fish odor also reduce. And also this one we do sensory analysis, and we found that the red bar, it's been hydrolyzed produced from the skin, produced using the lipase to hydrolyze the lipid embed in the skin. And we found that the hydrolyzed produced from skin with the treatment with the lipase also show the lowest fishy odor and the fishy flavor. The most important thing why the people also interested in hydrolyzed collagen because skin nourishment or make beauty skin, and also like look like nice skin. So this in Thailand, I don't know in India, but in Thailand, those kind of product like beauty drink is also very popular. But because those kind of hydrolyzed collagen can reduce the wrinkle. Because when people get aging, then wrinkle occur like this. And how can hydrolyzed collagen can be of help? So basically, the peptide or hydrolyzed collagen, they have the dual action mechanism. The first one, free amino acid can serve as building block for formation of collagen elastic fiber, and also collagen oligopeptide act as ligand binding to receptor on fibroblast membrane and stimulate the production of collagen or elastin. Okay, so this one is like they do on the White Star Rat. They use the 4-week oatmeal White Star Rat and fed with the different diet. The one control one they use like this diet, and the other one, the second one, they replaced by 12% casein, sodium caseinate, and the last one, they replaced by 12% hydrolyzed collagen or collagen hydrolyzed one. And after 4 weeks, they sacrifice the rat and they take the skin and do Western blot. You can see from here that they use a Taiwan collagen. The group fed with the collagen hydrolyzed or hydrolyzed collagen. You can see that the band of Taiwan collagen is larger than other one, and also Thai 4 collagen also larger than other the sample is a controlled one. That because, why type 4? Type 4 is kind of basement of the skin. So once the type 4 collagen is kind of hydrolyzed or weakened, so they will make the tooth or the wrinkle. And this one also we work in our lab. We produce hydrolyzed collagen from salmon skin because, as mentioned, the salmon very popular as sushi or sashimi. And we use the two enzymes together. This time alkaline 4% and papain 3%, and hydrolyze for a couple hours, and followed by collagenase at 4% and for a couple hours at pH 7 and 60 degrees Celsius. And after that, we terminate the enzymatic reaction and freeze dry and come up with hydrolyzed collagen. Okay, so from this one, we try to prove that hydrolyzed collagen containing peptide. We use the BJ fibroblast cell and mix together for 24 hours, and also we extract RNA and also do like reverse transcription into cDNA, and also use real-time PCR to monitoring the mRNA using the different primer like this. Okay, and this one is characteristic of the hydrolyzed collagen. And you can see from here that the last step, when we use a higher amount of the collagenase, the degree is also increased. I mean the blue line, and the mass, the major peptides have the around 1,000 delta. And when we test for toxic test, we mix together with those like the cell line, and we found that cytotoxicity at the 24 hours and 48 hours is quite less. But at the 3 milligram per milliliter, slightly decreased in bioavailability. And also we monitor mRNA, and we found that with increasing amount of the hydrolyzed collagen, also mRNA for collagen type 1 also increased, and as a concentration dependent manner, and also collagen type 3 also increased. And for extracellular matrix induction, for example, elastin or versican, also we found that mRNA also increased as a dose-dependent manner. And basically, if we use the hydrolyzed collagen together with vitamin C or ascorbic acid, we also do conduct experiment. One experiment using hydrolyzed collagen 2 portion and 1 portion of ascorbic acid, and we found that we extract those kind of collagen from the cell. You can see here that this sample have the highest collagen produced. Cell proliferation, fibroblast cell, and also they also have the highest collagen produced. So this confirms that when we use the hydrolyzed collagen together with vitamin C, we can have the larger proportion of collagen produced from our skin. And that's why no doubt that in the market, you can see that a lot of products in hydrolyzed collagen plus vitamin C. This also reason that they ascorbic show the synergy effect with the hydrolyzed collagen of peptide to produce fibroblast cell. Apart from that, if you take the hydrolyzed collagen, you can see they can have the wound healing property. So we start from the seeded the cell using fibroblast cell, and then we scratch using slice tip, and then we add the hydrolyzed collagen with different concentration, 25 to 1,000 microgram per milliliter. And after 24 hours, we can see that those the gap represent wound also reduced. And you can see from here the graph is mean that the wound gap also reduced drastically as when the concentration also increased. And apart from that, we also study apoptosis. The World Health Organization has defined osteoporosis as a decrease in the bone mass around 50% and body quality about 50%. And 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men over 50 will experience osteoporosis fracture. So we also use the pre-osteoblast cell, and we found that with the percent of hydrolyzed collagen, this one is slightly increased, and they can induce those kind of osteoid cells. And this is also we study using the different concentration of the hydrolyzed collagen, 50 up to 200 microgram per milliliter. And after 25 days, you can see calcium nodule here, and you can see visually here, this one the highest one. And to ensure that, so we also remove those kind of solution, and then stabilize those kind of calcium nodules using 10% CTP chloride for 1 hour, and read the absorbent rate at the 405 nanometer. And you can see from here that at higher concentration, the higher absorbent means that the higher calcium was produced. Okay, so mostly the hydrolyzed collagen, they can quantify. You can see Thailand here. There are a lot of the beauty drink, so they contain collagen. You see hydrolyzed collagen or peptide, whatever. And this is also example that we do in the lab, we prepare the chrysanthemum juice. So we boil it for 3 minutes at 95 degrees Celsius, mix with sugar, filter, and add hydrolyzed collagen, and bottling and sterilize for at 121 minutes for 11 minutes, equal to F0 is 7 minutes, and cool down and come up like this. You can see from here that when we add the higher amount, the drink become a bit darker, and also when we keep for the 6 months, also darker a bit more. And we also monitor those kind of antioxidant activity. Is actually gradually decrease with increasing the storage time up to 6 months, and free amino acids, and this confirms what happened, why the colors become darker, because alpha amino group also decrease, because alpha amino can interact with the missing sugar, generate during the high temperature and high pressure, and become Maillard reaction here. So Maillard reaction is non-enzymatic browning reaction that causes browning in the food system. And they recommend to just, you can add 1 spoon, a couple spoon in the drink, in like coffee or tea every morning or even night. And lastly, I'm going to talk about those kind of serum containing hydrolyzed collagen. So this one we also published in the sustainability. We work with Dr. Thanaporn from the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science. And this is the serum. You can see the first one, hydrolyzed collagen. We add 2.5% in this serum obtained. So there are so many things there. And we use the visual skin analysis there. So you can see that you can put the watch face there, and they measure those kind of things. And we use the 40 volunteers, male and female, the age between 21 and 70 years. And after 4 weeks of apply, you can see from there that the second lady, you can see that the pore also less, and the wrinkle also become less. And this one you can see from the statistical analysis, UV acne also reduced here. You see, this is the week 0. After 4 weeks, the bar, and also the wrinkle also reduced significantly, and the pore also reduced, and also moisture increased. So the volunteer feel like, okay, their face also moist, like this. All right, so I want to come up with a summary that the skin can serve as potential source for the collagen to bring revenue for processor. And hydrolyzed collagen containing peptide from this skin has a high market value due to its nutraceutical and cosmeceutical properties. And the practice process is still challenging, and we need to take control of associated with the undesirable fishy odor and flavor. And modification of peptide with the enhanced target biology should be further investigated. And fishery resources can be sustainable and maximally exploited. Thank you so much for your attention and your patience for the students.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, thanks a lot. And now we are having 4 more presentations. 3? Okay, 3 more presentations, and then we wind up the session. So we just give 4 minutes of each participant. And may I request Dr. Pawan to join us here for evaluation of these 3. Okay, so invite 3 presentations one by one, and the 4-minute maximum, including the question and the discussion. Thank you.
We'll proceed to abstract by Dr. Hitesh on effect of follicular size on the microRNA profile of in vitro produced babbling blastocytes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Hitesh. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Hitesh, and the topic of my presentation is effect of follicular size on microRNA profile on in vitro produced bovine blastocysts. coming to introduction. Should I skip? Okay. The objectives of the study. The first objective is to study the effect of size of ovidual follicle on the in vitro blastocyst development rate of buffalo. And the second objective is to study the effect of in vitro maturation rate of cumulus oocyte complexes on in vitro of the oocyte from the collected from the follicle categories, divided in 4 categories. First one is less than 3 mm, then 3 to 5 mm, then 5 to 8. Yes, in 5 to 8 mm follicle category. And the interesting fact, and the more number of mature oocytes were found in the more than 8 mm size category. And the important point to note that the degenerated oocytes number decreases as the size of follicle increases. In the standardization procedure, we found that the 25 microliter volume of the in vitro maturation media, 15 microliter volume of IVF media, and the 25 microliter volume of IVC media gave the best results, with blastocyst development rate of about 42.5%. The impact of follicular size, we found that the larger follicles showed better maturation rate than the smaller follicles. Coming to the in vitro blastocyst development rate, the development rate of the blastocyst of various categories increases as the follicle size increase, and a similar trend was observed in total blastocyst number, while the number of arrested embryos decreases as the follicle size increases. The important point that we found in the study that there are more number of uncleaved oocytes in the 3 to 5 mm follicle category than the other categories of follicle. When the correlation study was done, we found that there is significant effect of maturation on the cleavage and the embryo development that increases as the follicular size increase, and the incidence of embryos being arrested decrease as the follicular size increase. Similarly, the effect of cleavage was also reported on the in vitro blastocyst development rate. When the qualitative analysis of the microRNA samples was done, the PCA plot and the dendrogram showed that there are 3 clusters shown in the PCA plot, where the less than 3 mm follicles showed more variation, with second highest variation shown by the more than 8 mm size follicle COC. And the dendrogram shows that some microRNA shows upregulation in small size follicles while downregulation in small size follicles. When mapping of microRNAs was done, we found that more number of novel microRNAs were found in the smaller size follicles than the larger size follicles. And 132 common microRNAs were found in every size follicle category. 4 microRNAs specific for the 3 to 5 mm follicle category, and no specific microRNA were found for the 5 to 8 and more than 8 mm category, but 1 microRNA was specific for more than 5 mm size follicles. When the differentiation study was done, we found that some microRNAs showed downregulation initially when the size increased from less than 3 mm to 3 to 5 mm, and those microRNAs get upregulated later on, while the microRNAs highlighted with green color, they showed downregulation. They showed upregulation initially and downregulation later on. after the achieving the size of 5 mm. The microRNAs highlighted with this violet color, they showed down regulation up to the size of 5 to 8 mm follicle category, and upregulation was shown later on. While these microRNAs highlighted in the sky blue color, they showed upregulation up to the 5 to 8 mm size of follicles and down regulating later on. Conclusion, the COCs showing good maturation were more likely to be developed into good quality blastocysts, while those exhibiting poor maturation rates were more likely to remain arrested. The maturation of COCs, cleavage and blastocyst development rate was positively associated with the development of embryos, and significant correlation was found with the increase in follicular size. The microRNAs, namely 874, 543, 505, 2284F, and 193A5P, 1468, 11988, and 122. They were those microRNAs that showed down regulation up to the size of 3 to 5 mm follicle when the size increased from less than 3 mm size follicles, and got upregulated later on. That means they might be involved in the maturation of oocytes and the follicular development. These microRNAs, namely 381, 361, 210, 1423P, 13883P, 132, 1249, 1296, and 223P. They express they might be involved in the arresting the development of the embryo oocyte. Therefore, their regulation is essential for the development of follicles. The microRNAs, namely 677, 7A3P, 6529A, 3422A, 3431, and 11980, they express regulation up to 5 to 8 mm follicle category, while upregulating later on. And the microRNAs with identity 323, 429, 411A, 225P, 212, 124A, and 124B express upregulation up to the follicular size of 5 to 8 mm follicle category, while downregulating later on. These microRNAs can be used as non-invasive biomarkers of oocyte competence and embryo development, and can be used in further studies for developing the various kits or specific primer identifiers of the embryo quality. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Okay, next speaker, will invite.
Now we proceed to extract two synthetic-based essential oil and alternative in vitro approach to control multi-drug resistant zoonotic salmonella typhimurium in chickens by Dr. Samiksha Suresh.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself Samiksha Suresh from Department of Veterinary Pathology. My topic of presentation was cinnamaldehyde-based essential oil and alternative in vitro approach for the MDR zoonotic Salmonella typhimurium. Now, the poultry we all know is a very growing industry nowadays, but it is facing a much losses because of some infectious diseases. One of the diseases are Salmonella, okay, especially the Salmonella typhimurium, which is the zoonotic and posing a serious public health risk. So nowadays there will be the most of chances of multi-drug resistance. So there need multiple alternative therapies like the cinnamaldehyde essential oil-based therapies. Objectives was isolation and confirmation of Salmonella typhimurium and evaluate the therapeutic effect of cinnamaldehyde on Salmonella typhimurium infection in chicken. Material and method first includes the sample collection. The liver and intestine was collected for the pathological examinations as well as the confirmation. Then cultural examinations was carried out. Then DNA extraction. After that, the PCR was carried out by targeting the invasive and the spy gene. And result, gross region revealed the unabsorbed coagulated yolk in the broiler chick. Intestine revealed the catarrhal enteritis. Then the liver showed the necrotic foci and some coppery brown friability. Then on cultural examination showed the on McConkey agar there was a colorless colonies. XLD agar showed the jet black colonies and the BG agar showed the light pink colonies. Then after electrophoresis, the invasive agent, which is a genus specific for the Salmonella, showed the conformatory band at the 423 base pair. Spy gene, which is a specific gene for the Salmonella typhimurium, showed the band at the 401 base pair, which conforms the Salmonella typhimurium. Then result, histopathological examination, liver showed the congestion and the leukocytic infiltrations. Ileum showed the leukocytic infiltrations in the submucosa, as well as the ileum microdilution method by using the 96 well plate of both cinnamaldehyde and the various antibiotics, in which the resazurin dye is used as a indicator dye, and positive and negative control was kept. When mean of MIC was calculated, it is found that only the chloramphenicol among all the bacteria showing the best result, and when compared antibiotics to the essential oil, the cinnamaldehyde shows the best result as compared to the chloramphenicol. So finally, I would like to conclude that on the basis of gross lesions, isolations and PCR amplification results, the Salmonella typhimurium in the chicken proves the potential zoonotic threat to the human population, and the cinnamaldehyde essential oil based therapy can be used as an alternative in multi-drug resistance cases. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very quick and crisp, focus. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Now we'll proceed with track 3. Pathological and molecular confirmation of infectious bursal disease by Dr. Neetu Nehra.
Thank you very much, and a very warm good afternoon to Chairperson, Co-Chairperson, Rapporteur, my seniors, respected seniors, colleagues, and my lovely juniors. So today I'm going to present a field study. Topic of my presentation is the clinical, pathological and molecular confirmation of infectious bursal disease in a vaccinated poultry farm, field evidence of compromised protective immunity. As we already discussed here in many presentations, that the poultry industry is the fastest growing economy in the world with nearly annual growth of 10 to 12%. This rapid intensification increases the disease vulnerability to the poultry industry, which affects the growth, the feed efficiency, the feed conversion ratio, as well as the farm. So among the major health constraints, immunosuppressive diseases are the particular concern which will impact not only the host immunity but also interfere with the vaccine-induced protection, and thus also makes the bird susceptible to secondary bacterial and viral infections, and also reduces the farm productivity. For an example, infectious bursal disease persists despite of proper vaccination in the field. So today's topic is infectious bursal disease, which is also known as Gomorrah disease, because it was first cystitis or infectious avian nephrosis. This disease is a highly immunosuppressive viral disease, and it mainly affects 3 to 6 weeks old chicken. Hello. This is caused by a double-stranded RNA virus, that is IVTB virus. 2 genome sequences will code for VP1 gene, which is the RNA polymerase. This VP2 gene is it will encode for the capsid protein. It has some hypervariable regions which will responsible for the antigenic variation in the field, which will definitely gonna compromise the immunity even after the vaccination. So pathogenesis, this was and leads to immunosuppression and the secondary infections. So here comes the problem statement. The problem we face during the field is that we are presented with 80 dead birds and 10 clinically sick birds, which we examined. The species where we did this was the postmortem hall of veterinary pathology in Bilwas. The total flock size was nearly 6,000 birds. And for that we recorded the detailed history including the flock size, age, clinical sign, morbidity, mortality, vaccination schedules, etc. Vaccination history. According to the owner, these birds were vaccinated against the IBDV inactivated vaccine, live attenuated vaccine by the intraoral route at 14 days of age. Overall, 47 material methods that we used during the studies. Dropping of the head with extended neck posture, terminal tremors. So these are consistent with the already reports. Age-wise susceptible, inactive, or the birds which are younger to the 3 weeks, bird size also inactive at that period of time. So this age is highly susceptible. The gross lesions that we found in muscular and gastrointestinal tract were petechial to linear hemorrhages in the thigh muscle as well as pectoral muscles, hemorrhages at the junction of the glands. So these are some gross images where we found hemorrhages over the thigh muscles as well as the serosal surface of the junction of proventriculus and gizzard. Second one is the hemorrhages at the tip of proventriculus gland. This is very much specific for NCD, but we found this in IBD case. Swollen and enlarged kidneys with a marked hyperemia and the presence of white urate deposits. The pathological significance of this is that the kidneys were dehydrated and the renal dysfunction will start. Again, the gross lesions in the bursal findings were, you can see the hemorrhagic bursa with the distended ureter in the distended ureter with the urate crystals, and the contents in the that we found in the bursa is serous to creamy exudate, gelatinous and catarrhal material, hemorrhagic exudate. Mucosal hemorrhages are very prominent and severe pathological changes in the bursa. Now you can see variation in the lesion in bursa during this case is the gross image is showing dark red hemorrhagic bursitis, while milder cases there are catarrhal exudate only. Now you can see these images having the bursa is having the first image is bursa is having the gelatinous fluid. Second, depletion in the bursal follicle along with the cystic, showing the hemorrhages in the bursal follicles as well as the cystic spaces. For the molecular diagnosis, we have done RT-PCR and our product size is 680 base pair. So you can say to 10 is the negative control. So the question arises why vaccine fails. There are multiple reasons that this vaccine is done at 14 days of age as per the owner. So that might be due to the maternal derived antibodies, right?
Dr. Viku, I will request you to please continue.
Okay. So, as we all know that this is completely a case of the vaccine failure. So, my recommendations on this is that periodic vaccine efficacy evaluation should be done, and maternally derived antibody assessment should be done before vaccination, so that might not cause hindrance in the vaccination. Continuous molecular surveillance should be done in the field level, so that vaccine can be made according to the field strain present. Optimized vaccination that should be done like proper scheduling and antigenically matched vaccine, as we already discussed. So my final takeaway is the effective control of IBDP requires scientific effective vaccination strategies. Thank you.
So my question to you is, did you confirm that the infection was not mixed infection due to NCD and IBD?
No, ma'am.
Confirm that?
Yes, ma'am.
So there was no trace of NCD?
Yes, ma'am. We have done in this case.
Okay, thanks for coming in session 1. Thanks for coming in session 1.